Our timing really sucks, you know that? Now, we've never styled ourselves as a news show. If we did, the time between episodes wouldn't be as long. Now, we do report on some developmental aspects of the game, but those are almost always tied into an opinion we discuss later in the show. We also report on some time sensitive aspects, like a highly anticipated upcoming patch, and it really sucks if that happens right between the recording and release of the episode. Now, there are a few things we could do about this. We could change our recording schedule, but that would really interfere with our personal lives. We could stagger the release schedule or just wait and see, but since CIG doesn't really operate on a bi-weekly schedule like we do, either by coincidence or design, the only substantial thing that would really do is disrupt our channel. So I think that what we should do is nothing, and just hope that in the future these things happen as infrequently as possible. So, a little warning for the nitpicky among you. Yes, we are aware that the 13.1 patch has already been released, even though in the episode you're about to see, we discuss it as if it's still about to happen. But at least that gives us enough time to prepare thoroughly for the next episode. Enjoy.
Hello everybody and welcome to Fortnightly Frontier, the fortnightly episodes about Star Citizen on YouTube stuff things. I'm Loose Unit, and with me tonight is my host, co-host Dianator. Like a ballerina.
So graceful. So slender. No.
And on to the hyper news. We have reached the $54 and $55 million stretch goals. For the $54 million one, we got more detailed AI activity. So a bunch of new characters that the AIs will play. Kind of cool, like bartender, doctor, entertainer, nurse, sanitation worker, and some other stuff. Really cool stuff. Looking forward to seeing that again. It just means that we're going to have more AI characters in the game to fill out the world, because, you know, a world of like 100 worlds or so, a universe of 100 worlds or so is going to need a lot of people in it. And at the moment we have about 500,000 real players, and that's not quite enough to fill that out. So having some extra AIs is going to be always nice. The $55 million stretch goal is the ballistic Gatling gun. It was voted for by you and me. Actually, I did vote for that.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a Preacher Armament Inquisition 12, and its dual ammo feed allows you to hot swap feeds without exiting your ship, giving every owner the ultimate flexibility to pick the ammo based on the situation. Seems like quite a cool weapon.
Star Citizen is now in the Guinness Book of World Records for the biggest crowd-funded thing ever. This achievement was actually reached over a year ago when funding reached $10 million, and the entry for the book has been composed at about $39 million, or to be exact, efforts to fund Star Citizen, a space-based trading and combat adventure game, resulted in the largest single amount ever raised via crowdsourcing. As of 4th March 2014, publisher Cloud Imperium Games has raised $39,680,576 via its own website appeal alone. Chris Roberts designed the game, scheduled for release in 2015. And if you want to check out more about this, we'll get the book and check page 17.
Yep. And it actually, I think, had technically two records, because it had the most crowdfunded game and the most crowdfunded thing ever.
Yeah.
But it's only written down once. They didn't copy and paste it. Yeah. Anyway, the LTI is back! Exclusively for concept sales. So this is when they kind of have a concept and they're selling it. Like the current one, which is the Reclaimer, which is available now for a week.
For a week only,
Just a
yes.
week?
So, yes.
And it's
only a week.
LTI. So they're actually going to backdate that as well. So all of the people that bought concepts ships for the Mustang, and there's one or two other ships as well. If you bought back in the concept phase of that, you will get LTI on your account.
And the Avenger is finally headed towards variant stage of development, which means we'll soon be able to maybe fly it. Variants means that it's getting, the different variants: single-seater, double-seater, maybe no cargo, whatever it is. They haven't released the actual variants, but after the variants, it's next to damage states and game implementation.
I wonder if they'll do a racing variant of it. That would be interesting. It's probably too heavy and fat to be a racing. It is literally like a Lamborghini. It's like a Lamborghini, which is like an Audi, which is really crap.
They have said it is a very old ship. It is decades old, and they have retired it from military service, and now civilians and citizens, I should say, are able to buy them.
Yeah, it's possible they do a racing variant. I really don't have a clue. I'm not going to speculate on that because they generally put out some cool variants with stuff. Yeah. Lots of work has been done behind the scenes, including grey boxing, ship variants, first-person shooter AI. I think they had their first live test of that, or live version of that they were testing, which is kind of cool. And the ship landing and the the atmospheric entry visuals is kind of on its way as well, apparently. It's looking pretty cool. We haven't seen it yet because we are not subscribers, and subscribers haven't seen it yet because it hasn't been released.
And people who have seen the non-released things have not seen it then because it's not been released. But
we're just speculating based on information we've gathered
from that other show.
From the other shows.
Yes. And that is it for the hype news.
And now it's time for major points. Major points.
Anyway.
Control customization.
Yes. What about it?
Oh my god. This sucks. It really sucks. I spent a really long time building up my customized XML file and profile and everything like that. And it's gone.
Where did it go?
Came along. It's gone.
Oh, it actually deleted it.
Yeah, it's just disappeared. You know, I spent a really long... maybe I probably should have backed it up because it is still in alpha stages. So it's kind of my fault, but it's still pissing me off because you have to Alt-tab out into this app. If you want to do it live, you have to Alt-tab out into this app. Then you have to run... Well, at least it wasn't working on mine where you get the automatic apply button, but I had to copy the XML file that it generated, this app generated, and copy that, put it into the actual XML file of the controller, save it, then go back into the game, type in a command to disable the controls, and then want to reload them, basically. And
it is frustrating. I think at this point I would actually prefer just have standard customizable controls instead of cloud controls.
I think the cloud controls are going to help, I guess, in the future.
They are going to help.
I don't know, but it's a bit crap because you need to spend, if you really want to get, unless you're a keyboard and mouse. Like if you're a keyboard and mouse player, it's kind of easier to get into that whole slightly change how things are in your brain. Yes,
exactly. But if you have a joystick with 35 different buttons, you have to just figure out what the hell button 34 is.
Yeah,
and it's not very easy. They're not labeled.
Yeah, exactly. And figure out how you want to have it, because I want to bind the buttons on my keyboard, on my joystick, in a specific way that I press a button, I know where I go for that button. And the thing is, you can get used to it in another way, I guess, if you spend hours and hours playing it. But I want it to be natural. It has to be natural, and it's still, even when you get used to it, it's not natural. I know that from swapping from a QWERTY keyboard to a Quartz keyboard that they have in Germany. It still feels more natural doing QWERTY than it does to do Quartz, even though I do Quartz naturally. And it's
Well, it is muscle memory because you just spend so long doing it one way and then all of a sudden changing it. It doesn't really.
Yeah, exactly. And they need to bring that in. That is really killing the game for me at the moment. It's really killing the game.
Well, upcoming patch 13.1
13.1
is set to 13.1 is set to bring that into the fold, so to speak. And I just hope that they will have a very good user interface for that. Just command this, press button, mapped.
Yeah,
that would be good.
Yep. I hope that's going to be the case. And another thing that actually kind of bothered me, although I don't know if it was during the customization process, they actually have 3 different sets of flight controls for what, 2 or 3? I'm not sure.
2 actually, coupled and uncoupled. Yes.
They have 2 sets of controls for it, and it's a bit annoying having to rebind everything twice, because you should really kind of want it the same way, I guess. Although, on the flip side, some people don't, so...
Yeah, some people
Maybe
only
there
use
should be an
coupled, some
option.
people only use uncoupled, yeah.
Yeah.
But the stupid thing is, I mean, it's fine if you have 2 sets of controls for coupled and coupled, but why have them differently set up from the get-go?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. UI fans out there.
Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows
they do
but Chris Roberts.
They do need to definitely have a button where you can say, make this the same as my coupled controls when you're doing decoupled. At least have that option. Like they have when you're shipping something from Amazon, where it's like, my billing address is different than my shipping address.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
get what you mean.
I'll have it the same. I want everything to be the same. Yeah. That's just a bit of a bugbear that I have at the moment. And it'll be fixed in 13.1.
Hopefully it will be a very elegant fix.
And now, on to the Test Squadron RAM Target Acquisition Unit. Yeah. Let's get some focus on this baby.
And what would that be, pray tell?
This is the Test RAM Target Acquisition Unit. And it is like a Track IR, it is a head tracking unit. And it costs $30 if you go to the Test Reddit subreddit. Test Squadron subreddit. You'll find it in there somewhere. I'm sure we can link below for you.
Yes.
I guess I'll have
definitely.
to find that. It was $30 US, or round about that. A little bit less, I think, for me because I got it in euros and conversion rates and stuff. But it is a little head tracking unit. It has a couple of gyroscopes and a couple of accelerometers, and it picks up movement. So it's got this movement here. This movement here, and this movement here as well. It cannot pick up when you're moving backwards and forwards like that, or up and down, but it's got most of the movement in there. It is quite a cool little unit. They've got, it does take a little while to set up though, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, but it's more of a technical unit, and it comes literally like this, so you have to get a case for it. And I found the perfect case, but I couldn't buy it because the shop systems broke. And I stood in line for an hour waiting for it to buy a €1.
Oh, dang it. Maybe we should make one out of Lego.
Yes, I should, perhaps. There is actually a Lego store in Cologne. So I could go there and get some Lego parts for it. It is very, very tiny. In fact, if I put it here, this is my Nexus 5. Give you some scale. Very
You should
tiny.
use a banana for scale.
Always
Use a banana for scale.
I don't have a banana, but that's it. There, it's pretty cool. It's made by a guy in Test. He actually makes the units and sends them out to you. I did ask for a signature on it, but it was not really enough space because it's kind of tiny. And it's nice. It works really well. Walking around inside the thing. I strapped it to my head with zip ties, basically onto my headphone strap.
Ah, okay. Right, okay.
I was just
picturing you with zip ties around you.
Maybe I should just get sellotape and go like what's his name? Yeah, the movie thingy. Anyway, it's works, straps on your head and detects movement, and you can tune it a lot. It is going to take a long, because it's not like a Track IR, which is really easy to tune and set up because they know what you really want, and so they have a good baseline. It is quite difficult to get it perfect. It's going to take a long time for me to get perfect. And because of the control problems that we discussed earlier, yeah, I'm not... I don't like loading up Star Citizen all the time.
Yeah. Well, it is a very early build of the unit, so I suppose software updates will come and you'll get... With testing, it'll become a lot easier to eventually set up. Also, don't you have like an external application that you can use it with?
Yes, there is an external application that you use it with. And you have to have that, actually. That's part of the calibration and configuration software. And they have gone through recently. Crystal has pushed me onto some new drivers, or some new drivers have come out that have allowed better calibration and proper track AR style setup. Whereas before it was just like another joystick axis.
Oh, okay.
So it is quite a bit different. And it is quite nice. I think it is nice. For the price, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's really awesome. If you're willing to put in the effort to get something configured and to get a little case built for it and mount it to something, probably your headphones on top of your head, then yeah, it's worth it. It's really cool. So hopefully I'll have more of that.
We'll include more information about that in the description, so you can go check it out on the Test Squadron subreddit.
Yep, and I'll have more detailed reviews of that when we have proper control configuration inside of Star Citizen.
Yes, so look forward to that after the 13.1 patch hits.
And that has been Fortnightly Frontier for this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with all your friends.
I'm afraid that's not going to be good enough. You're going to have to just drop everything, call your grandma, and tell her about the best damn Star Citizen podcast on the internet.
Yes, right before you tell your grandma about the best damn space ever.
Exactly.
We will see you in the verse.
I'll see you in the verse.
That was the lamest intro ever.
Yes, it was.
That was pretty lame.
Oh, yeah, we didn't clap for sync.
Oh, let's do that now because that'll be fine, won't it?
Yeah.
Okay, you count down.
Hold on, let me just swallow. Let me just choke to that first. Ready?
Yep. And first up, we have the First up, we have the Hyper News.
Actually, how are you, Joe?
Drunk.
Already?
Well, this is what's left out of my bottle of wine that I started about 40 minutes ago. So, well, I'm not really drunk, but I'm happy drunk. And how are you, Mr. Dianator?
Sad.
Why are you sad?
I'm out of alcohol.
Yeah, it's because you drank it all in the first shot. Apparently your mum drank all of your alcohol.
Yeah, she did. I bought a few 6-packs of beer. I got like 6. Well, I got 1 6-pack, and she drank the other 2.
Let me just check because I have internet. Except your face is in the way of the button that I need to click.
Is that better?
Called a preacher Amen. This is the test RAM target acquisition unit